Tonight we're talking to Brian from the band Wires in the Walls, and let's get him on the phone right now.
Hey Brian, how's it going?
Hey, not bad. How are you doing?
Oh, good. Now, we originally met your band when me and Justin went to go see the Steelwells out at the Silver Lake Lounge. We ran into your bassist, Nick, and that's how we kind of got this process ongoing. And we got to see you, and you guys really rocked out. And I was so happy that you guys actually got to come in and we actually got to get on the phone with you guys, so that was really cool. Another thing that was just interesting was that a lot of bands that we've had, they usually put either their guitarist or their singer on, but you're the drummer, right?
I am, yeah.
That is the way to work, man. See, that's what should happen. Look at Dave Grohl, awesome, you know. We got you. That's awesome. Yeah. Drummers are the sexy bitches of bands.
Don Henley.
They really are. You know, Ringo.
Keith Moon.
Yeah.
So you guys have released your second album, and how you guys progressed since then?
Since we released the album?
Yeah.
Well, we've just been, we only released it it was only about 3 weeks ago now. So we've just been trying to promote it, play as many shows as we can around the area and surrounding areas, just trying to get the word out and get anyone who can, will listen to it to check it out. We think the material stands for itself, and, you got a good shot if you're a music fan of finding something on there that you like, hopefully. So the response so far has been really, really good. We've been really, really happy with it, and, just trying to keep the momentum rolling.
Yeah, and that is Call Signs the EP, right?
Yes.
So, there's so much that goes into creating an album, doing, making the music, figuring out where things go as far as instrumentals and things like that. What is your creative process? How do you feel when you start getting back, behind the kit and, playing?
Like me personally, my creative process?
What's your state of mind? What's your state of process?
Generally, my kind of philosophy as a drummer is just listen. I try not to think too much when I'm.
Neither does Turtle.
I walked into that one, didn't I? But I'm not just a drummer. I'm also a guitar player, and I play piano and brass instruments, euphonium and trumpet and stuff like that. So it's not like I don't understand music. I have a pretty good grasp on it. But, kind of as a drummer, you're almost like the musical director of the band. You have to kind of shape the song and help the dynamics and stuff like that. And, generally the guitar players, the singers, they're all concentrated on kind of what they're doing because they have to think about all these notes and everything like that. I'm just hitting things. I'm just a drummer.
Right. So you kind of keep them on the straight and narrow, right?
Yeah, when we're working on a song, I'm really trying to think about the big picture and, should this part be quiet? Should this part be loud? Do we need a transition here? And so, I try to just listen to the song as a whole and see what I think it needs from a song perspective, and the drum part usually just kind of works itself out, You kind of just start to lock in with the bass player after a while, and, I'm a pretty big feel player. I try not to get too caught up in technique and things like that, just because that's kind of the background I come from. And, it's nice as a band, we're pretty democratic. I never feel like, I'm just the drummer or whatever,
That's good.
Because we all do come from such musical backgrounds, and everyone really knows what they're doing. So it's nice, It's a very we all feel like equals, which is a cool thing.
That's awesome. So hey Brian, I got a question for you. Now, I know it's got to be a lot of work. Is this like a daunting task? Booking your own tours, creating your own T-shirts, building your own studio. You guys have put a lot of work into what you're doing.
Yes, it's a lot of work, but that's kind of the model nowadays for indie bands and up-and-coming bands, just because the way the music industry has kind of changed with the rise of the internet and, MP3s and all that stuff. There's not, this, we need to get signed to a record label, and we've made it, we're good, we quit day jobs.
Right.
It's very much, you kind of got to do it all yourself, get your music out there as best you can, and it's a challenge because it's just a lot more time-consuming. A lot of the time you're putting into things that isn't playing music, and that can kind of be a bummer when you're a musician and you're like, man, I don't want to make T-shirts or whatever. But at the same time, it's also cool because you can get your music directly to the fan without any filters or third parties. So that's kind of neat. And if you have a compelling product you're putting out there, compelling songs and things that, you know, if you're going to resonate with people, then, you know, it can really take off if you just do a lot of work.
That's awesome.
But it's a lot of work. It's kind of like starting a business almost, you know, just putting a ton of time into it. And at first you're not seeing much return on your investment. You know, you're doing all this work and, you know, 20 people show up at your show, and you're like, oh man. But then the next show, 40 people show up, and then 80 people because everyone's telling their friends and themselves. So it's really cool, you know.
It's gonna work out for you guys, though. I mean, hard work pays off, and I gotta say, I love the fashion and all the stuff that you guys have designed. And if you ever have any extras and you want to throw one of those cool T-shirts my way, you know, I'm just throwing it out there.
all right.
Yeah.
We can definitely do that.
So tell us where people can go see Wires in the Walls.
We've got a couple shows coming up this weekend. I don't know. Is this podcast going to come out before this weekend, or?
Yeah. It'll be out. Tomorrow.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, then, you should come and check us out. We're actually playing tomorrow night in Long Beach. Anyone from the South Bay area wants to check us out at Alex's Bar. We're going to be playing with our good friends Ola and the Moon. We were lucky enough to play with them at our EP release show about a month ago, and they are spectacular. You will not be disappointed. And, of course, you get to see us. And then we're playing Friday night, this coming Friday, April 30th, right in town at the Echo Curio in Echo Park on West Sunset Boulevard.
Yeah. And you guys are going to be doing an in-store appearance at the Apple Store at 3rd Street Promenade. Brian, thank you so much for joining us. Once again, that's myspace.com, Wires in the Wall Music. And don't forget to get their EP Call Signs available on iTunes. Thanks so much for coming on the show, okay?
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you very much, man.
See you later.
See you.
Bye-bye.
All right, that was Brian from Wires in the Walls. Coming up next week on the show, we've got Greg Holden. He's an indie acoustic artist out of London, England. He's actually rocking out now in the Big Apple. We're real excited to have him on the show.
You'll be strongest at the seams.